right. And we are live. So excited. We've got Bridget Carroll here today with our Burnout to All Out podcast. Bridget, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited to have this conversation and talk to your entrepreneurs. I've heard so many things from you about your community, and I've spoken to your community before, and I'm just honored and excited.
Yes, it's going to be so fun. So here's the deal. Before we get started, I want to really edify you. First of all, how we met, and then edify just like your background and why, if you're scrolling, you should stop and listen all the way to the end. And we also have an awesome discount code that's going to be shared with you guys who are streaming live or watching the podcast later. So you're going to want to stay on to the end. But Bridget, first and foremost, she and I invested in an incredible mastermind earlier this year, raised our hands to pull our chairs up to the table with other entrepreneurs who are scaling 7-figure businesses and beyond. And that's where we met each other, right?
Yeah. It's been an incredible mastermind. I really believe in the power of investing in yourself. And I wouldn't be where I am today. You know, I know we'll talk about my journey. I wouldn't have started my first business or made $1 million in my first 16 months had I not invested in myself and put myself in the room with incredible entrepreneurs. So it's been incredible.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Massive growth and connections. And like why we're here today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And why I'm using some of your products and rave about it. And been sharing your products with our clients. So really quickly, background around Bridget Carroll and why you should lean in. Okay. Bridget is a functional dietitian specializing in gut health and business coach and founder of Gut Personal Supplements, which we're going to talk about today and how important it is for entrepreneurs to be taking care of themselves. Her mission is twofold: improve health and wealth for women. After healing herself in a decade of studying functional medicine and nutrition and healing hundreds of women, she realized even women who eat super healthy have a lot of gut issues. Mm-hmm. Yes. She started a gut health coaching company in June of 2020, which skyrocketed to reach $1 million in sales in 16 months. So incredible. Can't wait to hear more about that rocket ship. With that success, she focused on business coaching in 2021 before launching her personalized line of gut health supplements, Gut Personal. Gut Personal Female is not only female founded, but also female funded and operated, which is incredible. So excited to learn about your journey today. And like I said, there's going to be a discount code for you guys to really try these products out before we wrap up. But let's get into the backstory, Bridget. Like, let's go back to life before being this 7-figure entrepreneur, maybe life in nutrition and being a dietitian, when maybe you were working for someone else. Can you take us back to before entrepreneurship and kind of right before the pinnacle of realizing I want to go out on my own and do my own thing? Like, where were you? What were you doing?
Yeah. So I was working at a holistic pharmacy outside of Boston. That's where I'm based now. And even before that, you know, I became a conventional dietitian and had so many issues. I had thyroid issues and gained a lot of weight. I had migraines and I couldn't go to the bathroom every day. And so I had to go back to school for more training in functional medicine to really get to the root cause of my issues, because I was having all of these issues, but was put on more and more medication. And maybe someone who's listening to this can relate and doesn't want to live their life like that. So I had always created my own job inside other people's companies, which many of us entrepreneurs do before we leave the 9-to-5. And specifically right before the pandemic, I was working for a holistic pharmacy and I had my own private practice within this pharmacy. It was also a retail shop for supplements, and got really good at not only working with clients one-on-one, but for working with supplements, asking people questions of what was going on in their body, where did they feel off, and then recommending supplements, which came in handy 2 years later when we launched our supplement line. But I really felt this need to change the world in the way that I saw it should be changed. I didn't want to work for two guys who really didn't appreciate what I was doing for the business. and didn't appreciate me. And so I worked with a business coach before I quit my job for a month. And then a month into working with this business coach, I was like, all right, I'm leaving the 9 to 5. And my first month in business, the only thing I did was get on social media, show my face, and really bring the passion of what I was doing, which was healing people's guts and working with them one-to-one. And my first month in business was $42,000. And I was like, wow, okay. I, by the way, didn't know this until 3 months later. That's how much I didn't know my numbers and my books. Don't recommend that. But it was really cool to realize, okay, in 3 months of starting this business, I had already made back my 6-figure salary and more. And that gave me so much fuel to be like, okay, how can I go quicker, faster? I started hiring the right business coaches. I started putting myself in really scary rooms. And that's even helped accelerate my growth and just show me that I can do whatever I desire.
Oh, so good. Okay. I want to back up for a minute because I know some people are wondering, oh my gosh. So Bridget left her 9 to 5 and made $42,000 in her first month on social media. One of the things I heard you say, and I want to unpack this a little bit, is your strategy on social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly talking about giving value. You know, I'm over on LinkedIn, but it's all about value, value, value. You know, and so I'm curious how you were able to quickly generate so much revenue on social media. And what were you focused on? Were you focused on education and value to the audience, or were you selling? Was it a balance of both? What were the proportions? Like, share with us.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely a balance of both. I was giving value, and the way I give value is through storytelling, really saying, okay, here's one of my clients' stories. Here's what we did, and allowing my audience to see themselves within the story and connect with it. Because especially my ideal client has been dismissed by doctors for years. So they know something is wrong, and they actually know what is wrong. They know their gut is off, but what they didn't know is the solution. And so I would go on and do a lot of storytelling about myself as well and say, and here's the solution. And, you know, giving tips and tricks. And especially when the pandemic was going on, I was giving, you know, science-backed supplement protocols and different things like that. So I was giving value and I was selling through storytelling. But also I would say, you know, I have a 3-month package. Come and do testing with me. And I think that was important too, because if I was, you know, just telling these stories and not saying, here's how to work with me, for my ideal client, it was important to say, I have your solution.
Yes. And you had the call to action, right?
Yes, abso-freaking-lutely. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So good. Okay. So you got the courage, you had the tenacity to kind of leave the 9 to 5, launch your business. 42,000 in the first, you know, month. You scaled to $1 million in 16 months. I know there's growing pains to go with that because I've experienced it myself. We're very similar. I went from 0 to $1 million in 19 months. And I look back now and I'm like, wow, the learning curve, right? So can you speak a little bit to that expansive growth in the midst of COVID, the scaling, you know, when that amount of sales are coming in, that's a number of clients exponentially that you're serving. And I don't know what of that $1 million in sales was product versus clients you were coaching, but how did you navigate such rapid growth? And maybe share with us, you know, let's just start with that. How did you navigate the rapid growth?
Yeah. So for the first, 6 months, it was really just me, and I had a VA. And I did hire from the beginning. I did hire a VA a month into my business, which I wouldn't have been able to, I don't think, scale as rapidly if I didn't have her. And she was so helpful to me. So I think that's key. Hire early. Yes.
Because you're the bottleneck. Yes.
Absolutely. And actually, I had a little period in the 3rd or 4th month in my business where I was burning out a little bit. I was still taking health insurance as a dietitian. So I was seeing like 20 clients a week, sometimes there was one week where I had 35 clients.
Wow. Yes.
So I remember the end of August, it was August, and my eyes were just like, couldn't stay open.
Yes. I've been there. Yeah.
Right. And and you have to have that realization and say, okay, where am I going to go with this? Am I going to hire more coaches, or am I going to scale back, which would also scale back my revenue, or am I going to increase my prices?
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of did a combination of that, so that I didn't burn out.
Awesome. Awesome. And did you stop taking the insurance clients, or do you still do that? Yeah.
No, I stopped taking insurance, and that was huge because I was paid $200 per hour through insurance. I added on a membership per month, which was $200 as well, but they still weren't paying me the same hourly rate as my other clients. And I think that's important too in growing pains, is that your clients level up with you. As your prices go up, you have to raise them, or else you're not raising their vibe.
Totally. I agree with you 100%. Oh my gosh, this is so good. I was in similar shoes as you, as we were scaling, and I just bit off more than I could chew one month, where I had a company come to me with a huge contract, and they didn't want to integrate into the academy I already had. They wanted me to do it in a separate swim lane, and being naive, all I saw was an awesome contract for another $100,000. And I wanted to take it, and I did. But to your point, it was so much extra work at the end of it with my eye. I remember just every day at the end of the day, I was so exhausted, so exhausted. And my learning lesson after that was that, like, we don't have to take on every opportunity that comes our way. No. Maybe it was a learning experience I had to go through. Right. But also, like, drawing the line about what you're willing to adapt for clients versus not. In retrospect, now moving forward, if I get approached by a corporation, it's like, no, I don't have time to customize something different. You're welcome to invest in your teams going through this program, and we can have some one-off maybe coaching or whatnot, but it's not in alignment with my time. Right.
Yeah. And alignment curve. It's such a learning curve, but alignment is the key, right?
Yes.
Like, aligning your business, your offers. And, I was doing last year a lot of business coaching when I dropped a lot of gut health coaching. So as I went, like the first year in my business, it was all me, gut health coaching, and some business coaching to the end of that first year. And then at the 1 year mark, I hired another dietitian to take on my gut health clients. And I moved into business coaching. Awesome. And so, what was really helpful in that first year, we didn't sell any products in that first, to get me to that million, we probably did in like a third party supplement store, maybe $200,000 in sales. But our supplement company is so new. It's products that have been, I've used for years and years with clients. But this transition of moving from a service-based company to, oh my God, a physical product is mind-boggling. That transition has taken a lot of strength.
Yes. Okay. So let's just go there. Can we go there? Because I love your story. It's a journey I've not been a part of yet. And that is raising capital, right? Can we talk about, and I love, by the way, are you taking on I have a lot of followers because I'm a pharmacist. I've got a lot of people in the functional health practice space. I have a lot of clients in our academy who are scaling online health and wellness businesses. Are you still taking on clients to coach? Okay, cool. So listeners, if you're looking for somebody who's done it and scaled to $1 million coaching clients in the health and wellness space, reach out to Bridget. Okay. So that plug. Now let's move on to the transition to launching a product and raising capital with female only funded, the female funded and founded approach. Can you talk a little bit about the growth journey there?
Absolutely. I mean, so in this mastermind that you and I met in, I was also in it the previous year. And our mentor, Chris Harder, really drove home that when we're scaling many of our service-based companies, that we're a well-paid employee. And when I was thinking about my life, I'm 30 years old now, and I'm about to get married and I'm going to start having kids soon, I realized the way that I was operating, even when, we have a 7-figure year, was not in alignment with how I wanted to live my life for the next 10 years. And so I really wanted to build a company to sell. And I wanted that for a couple of different reasons. One, building the CPG brand is going to be wealth for my family for years and generations to come. It's also going to be wealth for my investors' family, and then my affiliates who would work with me and got personal. So it was really a mission of growing wealth for women on that side. And then also, and maybe if you're listening, you feel this, I felt in my service-based company, I was changing women's lives and it was so amazing. And it was hundreds of women a year. But I asked myself, how can I help millions? How can I scale this to where I can change millions of lives? And I couldn't do that in my service-based industry. And I think this is really important when you're moving and shifting your business, because someone who's listening to this might be like, I freaking love my service-based company and I want to keep doing that for the next 10 years and growing and scaling that. But for me, it was alignment. It was listening to how I wanted to go through my day-to-day, what I wanted to be doing. And that was less coaching. I only take 5 business coaching clients on at a time, whereas before I had 15 plus a really big mastermind.
Yes.
So it's like scaling back what you don't want to be doing a ton of and adding in more of what you do want to be doing.
Totally. And then you're energetically aligned and the results show, right? I love that. So good, Bridget. Well, let's get into that then. Well, as far as, so tell us a little bit about your strategies with raising capital for, and some people don't know what the word CPG is. So a lot of the folks in my community are really in the coaching space and the service-based industry. So can you share with us what CPG is? Yeah. And kind of your trials and tribulations, the good, bad, and everything in between with raising capital with your first product-based business.
Yeah. So it's consumer product good.
There you go.
So there we go. It's just a physical product. But this is pretty cool. Maybe for my service-based entrepreneurs that are listening to this, is that you could do that as well. That's what I'm doing. My goal for this company is to sell it for over $100 million. Maybe that's not your goal, but especially if you're in the health and wellness space, you can white label supplements, or you can sell a journal, or you can do a lot of these other things that don't have to look like what I'm doing, but can really diversify your revenue, because that is so important when you're going to try and kill it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's so true. And that's the thing, actually our team, maybe you'll find this humorous. We're actually looking at, we find that people who are new to LinkedIn, just get stuck on just social prompts, where to get started. And obviously we have a ton of training on it, but we've actually thought about creating, they have like the tarot, like cards. We're thinking about actually branding my LinkedIn method and creating a stack of cards that are social prompts for LinkedIn to launch with my book, because, the book will talk the strategy, but then we'll you can add to the cart the social prompts, and just, they'll be beautiful and branded, and you can have them at your desk. Why not have a product, right?
I need those now. See, that's the thing with the physical product. You're just like with the service-based company, you're just providing a solution for people. Yeah. So I freaking love that. That is such a brilliant idea of being a service-based company, having a physical product. What's that going to help with? It's going to help your clients, and it most likely, and hopefully, it brings in more revenue.
Yep, totally. And it can just sell on the internet indefinitely, right?
Oh, I'll be your first customer. Let me know when it comes out.
Awesome. Okay. So let's get into your zone of genius. I'd really want to talk about, on the back end of this interview, why gut health is so
Mm-hmm.
important for
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurs. You and I kind of had a backroom discussion about this. And I know my followers have seen me like shrink visibly on screen, focusing religiously on my health, because I truly believe that energetically, if we don't take care of ourselves as entrepreneurs, like it's a ripple effect in your business, the people who work for you, your clients, your family, all the things. So let's get into, from your perspective as an expert in the field, why gut health and gut personal is so important for entrepreneurs to stay healthy.
Yeah. So I think the key to staying really healthy is having a personalized plan. And so whether that's working with a functional medicine dietitian, or whether that's taking our quiz at Gut Personal and getting your results of things that are right for you, it's really important to not take blanket things, have a blanket statement, except magnesium. Magnesium is a blanket statement that, yeah, right. You love it. Magnesium is something everyone needs to be on, especially entrepreneurs, because it is depleted when we're stressed. It helps us focus, and it helps us sleep, and it helps us to poop every day. And it's just the best. But a personalized plan is key, especially for entrepreneurs. We don't have time to take what everyone else is taking, to just like, what do they say? Throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
So I created Gut Personal to be more personalized, to actually work, because I had a lot of women, especially women. We have a lot more gut issues than men. So I'm going to speak to women. If men are listening to this, you can take the same types of supplements as women. That does not change from gender, but us women struggle with gut issues. 75% of us have gut issues or have had them.
Why is that? Why women versus men?
Oh my gosh, so many different things, but our hormones are different. Hormones affect the gut. Okay. The gut affects hormones. We go through a lot of different, pregnancy really affects gut health. Yeah. So that's a big one. I mean, that's a huge one. Hormones, pregnancy. We tend to internalize stress more than men into our gut. So men tend to be more in their head. We're in our gut, which is actually a good thing. But another important thing while I'm talking about, your gut is you can't listen to your gut. You know what they say, and you and I probably use this, like, listen to your gut. What does your gut say? Whether you're making a business decision or a hire, you can't listen to your gut energetically if your gut's a mess.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to heal your gut, especially us ladies, got to do the work.
Okay. So tell us about Gut Personal and how it heals the gut. What does it do for us?
Yeah. So we have a full line of gut health supplements, and different gut health supplements are meant to do different things. And so when you take our quiz, what it asks are your symptoms. What that tells me, what your symptoms tell me as a functional medicine dietitian, are how unhealthy your gut is. So for example, if you have bloating, you're not going to the bathroom every day, you have skin issues, you've gained weight, and you're anxious, your gut is a freaking mess. Okay. Because of the mental health piece, skin issues, hormones. So we ask all of those questions to inform us, how much do we need to heal? And based on that, like, level of kind of off, the level that your gut is imbalanced, we give the gut different things. So for example, if your gut is a mess, like most of us, and it's okay if it is, you just got to take action in healing it. We're going to add things in for your immune system, like a dairy-free colostrum we use called the Healer. We will add in an L-glutamine powder with aloe and licorice to help soothe the gut. So if your gut's a mess, we're soothing and healing. Whereas, say you're someone who just knows the gut is the center of all health, but you don't really have many gut issues, maybe occasional bloating, you're just going to need some good magnesium and a good probiotic. So it's two totally different things and different products for different people based on their symptoms.
Okay. So informative. So what are your thoughts around the establishment of like the right micro flora in the gut, the enzymes in the gut. And how do you, and kind of a second question to this, because if you guys follow me on social, I've been really big into like poops lately. So I'll just use the word, because I was introduced to a really cool kind of process to cleanse the gut. So I'm curious how you feel about processes that cleanse the gut, whether they're like enemas or, there's so many different ways that people go out there and cleanse the gut. What are your thoughts on those? How do they, what are your thoughts on kind of the microbiome of the gut and like what people can do to create a better microbiome, and what products do you have? And then what are your thoughts on these, colonics and enemas and all the things that people are doing to totally flush out their intestines? I've not done a colonic yet, but I'm open to it. So talk to us about it.
Yeah. I think for most people, it's like the all or nothing kind of mentality, right? Like colonic and enemas, those are like, a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And like
pretty invasive too.
Yeah. Most people don't need to do that. I mean, if you love like the biohacking and that feels really cool to you, like that's amazing. The microbiome is the most important thing in the body. That is when I'm talking about the gut, I'm really talking about the microbiome and the microflora, and rebalancing that really is important. So same answer, kind of the past one. It's different people need different things. So for example, I just talked about the healer, which is like this dairy-free colostrum. It's really helpful for your immune system. 70% of your immune system is in the gut. So so if you've been stressed, if you've taken antibiotics, if you're doing pesticides, if you're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, your immune system in the gut is actually decreased. So we're working on the microflora and the microbiome through boosting the immune system and healing that.
Yes. It's like the first line of defense, because we're like, everything we eat goes straight to the gut, right? So everything that our body has to like clean up and break down. So interesting. Okay. Last question around poop. How often should people be pooping?
Oh, golly, this is a great question. Every single day, if not twice a day. So,
and should you be able to poop without coffee?
Yes, absolutely. So anyone who's listening to this, please, for the sake of feeling amazing in your body, take magnesium.
Yes.
And if you're pooping once a week, also take our product called the Mover. It really is so gentle, or you feel really bloated after you eat. The Mover, it's just ginger and artichoke, and it just moves things through your system. But
that's so nice.
It's so good. Oh my God. And there's research behind it. I think it's really important, especially you as a pharmacist, like to know there is research behind all of our products and all of our ingredients. And so we pay a premium for that, to have high quality products that have been researched.
Well, and so speaking of magnesium, just so all our listeners know, I love Bridget's Miracle Worker. I was exposed to it at our live event in our mastermind, and I've been using it ever since. I'm actually a very regular person as far as the gut goes, but when I travel, I tend to get irregular. So it was like the perfect time for you to offer it to the mastermind community, because that's when I get irregular. But then learning about the benefits of the magnesium, even with my sleep and being like kind of an extreme athlete, just the magnesium in my body is really helpful too. So love the Miracle Worker, which is her magnesium. And I'm excited to really go down this journey with the Gut Personal. So cool. Well, so let me ask you, so this has been really, really informative. Any final comments or thoughts around kind of Gut Personal and entrepreneurs getting themselves healthy and optimal for performance before I jump into one more question for you?
Yeah, I think, on the business side of things, but something that we do really well at Gut Personal is we truly care about our customers. And from a business side of things, this is brilliant because people come back. We have a 70% customer return rate, which is wild because people notice it different because we have high quality products and we help personalize even further. So I'm in the DMs 3 to 4 hours a day answering questions.
Wow.
And that has been really helpful from a business standpoint. But from a customer standpoint, if you're thinking about taking Gut Personal, if you've taken the quiz, DM us we're mostly on Instagram right now. I'm so excited to get more into LinkedIn and see what that can do for our business too. But DM us on Instagram or shoot us an email and be like, hey, I'd really love to talk to your dietitian, or, like, what do you guys think about this? So we're here to help personalize for you and answer any questions. And Melissa, I'm excited to get you on more of our stuff because I know from what you were just on exactly what could be good.
Yeah. Awesome. So good. Yeah. And I can see your branding now over on LinkedIn getting so much traction with so many people, because people over on LinkedIn, it's kind of a more buttoned up platform. But clients who are out there talking about things that people don't usually talk about are the ones getting massive traction because you're speaking to the things people don't openly talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for you. So good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So clearly you have just shattered so many amazing goals quickly. And I know that you're a business coach, and, mentoring others along the way. And I'd love for you to kind of share with people, your kind of insights of to like, what's holding folks back from their dream business. I mean, I just heard you say our goal is to sell at 100 million, right? Yeah. I heard you go from, 0 to $1 million in 16 months. I heard that you went from $1 million in revenue in a service-based business to I'm going to go launch a product. So clearly you've got some strategies in the inner work between your ears that allows you to dream big. Yeah. And just go freaking after it. Yeah. Can you speak to the audience who's maybe just like intimidated by the radical steps you've taken that are just like, that's so awesome for her, but I could never do that. Can we speak to the limiting beliefs and that may be holding folks back and just encourage them to take a step forward?
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, honestly, I think that is what makes a successful entrepreneur is that we look at our limiting beliefs and look them in the eye and say, I can, but it takes very intentional inner work to be able to do that. So for example, I do hypno breath work, which I know Rebecca probably takes you through almost daily. And before that, I was reading a lot of self-development books and learning how important mindset is in growth. And I decided as I go, I'm adopting more beliefs about myself that show me I can, because these are like, we can decide consciously to believe what we're thinking, or we can decide I'm going to rewire that or show myself, give myself evidence of why it is not true. For example, it takes some balls for me to say, I'm going to sell for over $100 million when I've never freaking done it. But I'm showing myself now all the reasons I can do it, putting the right people in my corner. I'm reading books of how to exit companies successfully. Now I'm doing all of these things. I'm doing the inner work. Anytime something comes up for me where I say, I just had a meeting actually this morning with my CFO, and a belief I've had about myself is I'm not good at managing money. And with hiring a CFO team, I'm showing myself that's actually just not my zone of genius. I just actually need support in it. And I'm not meant to be good at everything in the business. I'm meant to, show up on social media and sell my brand, sell my company, do podcasts. That's my zone of genius. And hiring the right people will help me get there faster. So inner work is probably the most important thing, I believe, and really good strategy.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. I mean, my audience knows I'm constantly talking about the inner work. That's the self-limiting piece. So, so good. And yes, I do hypno breath work religiously. I'm actually getting certified in November.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I think it's such a great tool to use with one-on-one, like with clients that you're coaching in business, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this has been so good. So Bridget, really quick, are you still taking investors?
Yes. Yep. So I just had a call. Actually, I have a call right after this with a potential investor. We have about $100,000 that we're still raising. And it's a seed round, which is incredible because that means you get, pre-valuation money, you get more of the company. So our minimum investment is $25,000. And we have, I know Rebecca, one of your great friends, is one of our investors. We have Chris and Lori Harder. We have some private equity people that helped build Dry Bar. So I'm really going to go crush this for my investors. And we are crushing it already this month. Hopefully it will be our first 6-figure month. And we haven't been a company for a year. So that's
incredible.
Oh my gosh. Very good for physical products.
Yes. Okay. So where can people find you?
Yeah.
Where can they get the products? And what's the special coupon code that you've got for everybody?
Yeah. So it is gutpersonal.com/ I think it's Melissa, your name. So gutpersonal.com/Melissa. I'll make sure that's correct when the podcast comes out. But if you guys will make sure that's right for you guys. And then let's see. I'm mostly on Instagram right now. Again, going to work in LinkedIn probably after our wedding. And yeah, Well by Bridget on Instagram or Got Personal on Instagram. And go take the quiz and let me know what you think and buy some really great products that are going to work for you and make you feel better and allow you to crush it more in your business. Take action on that today.
Yeah. So good. So, so good. Okay. Final question for you. Given that you've run your own masterminds, we're a part of a mastermind together. Yeah. I actually have my first large live event in late September. I'd love for you to share from your perspective how going to live events has created quantum leaps for you in your business and in your mindset and the value of live events. Can you speak to that?
Oh my gosh. Yes. So like connecting on Zoom is great, right? You have an hour conversation. It's awesome. It doesn't leave room for magic. You don't get to feel someone's energy or give them a hug or, have silence that then turns into a life-changing conversation. So I think, getting in the room truly means physically getting in the room. And I think that is so important. It's so invaluable. And I know you have so many amazing people there, like not only yourself, you're going to be so incredible. You have all these amazing entrepreneurs that you're bringing to speak to people. Yeah. And in person, there's just nothing better.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Ditto. Thank you so much for sharing. And for those of you guys who are streaming live, know that we do have a special offer through midnight tomorrow night. For our listeners who are watching live for our Burnout to All Out live event, late September 29th, 30th, and October 1st. The 30th and October 1st are general admission. The 29th is a VIP day. I think we have 2 seats left there. But if you're listening live, if you go to my website, burnouttoallout.co, you can click on the live event. We have a $300 off coupon that's good through the end of tomorrow night. So just till tomorrow night, if you're listening live. So if you get this recording on the podcast later, too bad, so sad. But Bridget, this has been so good. Any final comments, remarks to our listeners today?
No, I would love to connect if this resonated with anyone on the business side of things or got personal, and just connect with me on Instagram.
Yes, you guys go check her out. If you're thinking about your first opportunity to invest, if you're looking to work with a business coach, especially in the health space, who's done it. And if you want some personalized gut health strategy to optimally perform in your business and be the best version of yourself as the entrepreneur that you are, you guys, Bridget is like the real deal. So good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you at our live event, our mastermind. mastermind live event in a couple of months, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. All right.